Yeah, so Carl is 3 games up on Will with 3 to go, with Alec hanging around there with 2 games behind Carl.
Man, is that the lag we have? Oh, there we go. Now it's, oh yeah, it's quite a lag, yeah. All right. Yeah, so you think the pairings weren't done right?
Well, it was interesting because Kenji had passed Matt to take 4th place, and in the previous round they had held up the pairings of the top few games, which kind of sets the precedent that they're going to do that every time. This time, however, they decided to go ahead and do all the pairings immediately, thereby Matt having already been in 4th. Now, if Matt loses to Alec, then Kenji has no chance of catching up, and we never had a chance. And the slight spoiler alert is that Alec opened with a bingo against Matt.
A biggie or a meaty?
Burgles for
Oh, okay, meaty.
74.
76.
76.
All right. So what are we going to get here? We've got key or qui or quay or... Yes, quite is only CSW.
So yeah, basically Carl needs to win one more game and he's guaranteed a spot in the finals.
Yeah.
He could still go 0-3 and still make the finals potentially.
Yeah.
But definitely one more clinches it. And if Will loses this game and Alec loses and wins his game, then he'll have to beat Alec twice. So likely, or there's a good chance, that Carl could be clinched going into tonight, but we're gonna find out.
So we're hearing that in Polish Scrabble they only have a time limit of 15 or 20 minutes per game, but I'm thinking with basically 3 letters in the alphabet, they need less time.
Yeah,
I'm just having fun with you.
I would love to have our tournaments only be 15 and 20 minutes because
Yeah.
I would have a big advantage.
Big advantage, yes. People who know a lot of words have a huge advantage. So I'm going to assume we're going to see something off the queue. What do you think? Like, yeah, aqua.
I think probably something.
So close to aqua line.
Yeah.
Quiniella.
Something off the queue probably.
I think that's the question is, do you also play the E? But
or just QUA. I know.
yeah,
Will
Alien is a great lead.
Yeah, Will does like those slightly more variant leaves. AEILN can bingo a lot, but when it doesn't bingo, it kind of turns to crap.
You're thinking Aqualine and Quiniella, Scott.
Scott, you should go drink another cider.
But I think we got a few new aqua words this iteration.
Aquafaba?
Aquafaba is one of my favorite. Let's see. Aquafaba is new. And I think everything else is the same.
Yeah,
for 8s anyway. Let's see if there's any 7s.
QUAI looks like it could be good as well because it keeps the less likely L hook.
Of course, of course. I'm looking. Aquaria and Aquafit. Aquafit is maybe 4 years ago.
I think.
Yeah.
So sure enough, QUAI looks like it's gonna come down from Will. See if he can draw something good to AELN. Carl with an early tempo advantage, having scored more for the QU.
What is that 8th tile that he picked up? Another N, I believe.
The 8th tile?
Plangent. No, it's a 7th tile. So he needs a T for plangent. Paneling with an I.
Well,
there it is.
There's a nice little I waiting right there for him.
And
but I think it's going to get blocked.
I'm not sure. What do you think?
Oh, maybe. I guess.
I think he might stick an S on key. And
he might just play gut.
Or just play, oh, okay, that might block it for sure. But Utes, I don't know. Yeah. It is a dangerous spot for sure. Doubles open and a nice hook on the QUAI.
Yeah, I mean, Gust and Keys is only 26, so it's
Yeah.
12 points for the S on a board where S is pretty powerful. I'd say it's probably.
I agree. So gut seems like the play. And
Yeah.
nothing, the T that he needs for plangent will not be in the place he needs it to be.
He could also go crazy and play something like two twos.
Yeah, and saving the S hook on the triple. Yep. He'd be mad.
Yeah, well, two twos and keys or something. If he really just wants to get rid of the two U's, and then will we get all the open letters?
Oh my God, that'll be all 4 U's in the first 3 plays.
Oh, how exciting is that? Okay, well, looks like
All right, he played.
unbeknownst to him, he dodged a bullet there. Will looking not incredibly thrilled by that development. Will the Thrill Anderson.
Also, when your time runs out in Polish Scrabble, you're not allowed to play anymore. Your opponent basically plays all by himself, and all you can do is challenge.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
That sounds like a.
You need a new government.
That sounds like an existential nightmare. Ooh. That sounds like a nightmare, or like a Scrabble nightmare.
It really does. It really. I woke up with. You can't.
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
Isn't it true that it doesn't matter if Will wins this game, if Alec wins this round, since Will will have to be Alex 2 times anyways to get in? We'll have to think about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
It's
true.
probably true. All right, so he lost his paneling. What does he do now? Obviously, you kind of have to maybe fish a bit because it's such a strong rack without the PN, for example.
Yeah, the two N's are just kind of.
Well, you're going to hook the QUAI. How do you pronounce it? Quay?
I thought it was key.
Yeah, well, I thought the other one was key.
I think I thought they were both
They're
key.
both key?
I don't know. Well, they mean different things. That means cows, and the other one, of course, means,
Well,
key.
you can
I don't
play
know,
just
word.
gull, or gulp, and save lane.
No, he has two N's. That's the problem.
But you've got 2 N's, so you want to get rid of an N. Lung.
Maybe long or
Plunge.
pung.
How about just plunge? Take the plunge and
Yeah.
save AM.
Or pung.
Yep. And save lane. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm kind of partial to plunge at this minute. I don't know why.
Because you just want to take the plunge.
I
Well,
wanna
it-
take the
I mean,
plunge.
it scores more earlier on.
Oh, no, you can't
just
play
losing.
plunge because QUAIN.
Oh, I thought you were saying through the U and QUEY.
Of course, that's what I meant, and that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
And that's
of
what I
me.
was talking about for both
Absolutely
pung, yeah.
brilliant of me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think Will just needs to be careful he doesn't run out of time. Said Carl can't just keep playing every word, and Will can only challenge.
So lung. No, I have to keep doing that. Gull. So what do we like to hook the QUAI? Anything? Oh, that's nice spread, Jem. That's very pretty. I'm not a big extender,
goals.
are you? I find that people often I don't know how long you've been playing. I found people often in the beginning of Scrabble that that's a big strategy they've used at home to make longer words out of shorter words. It's not something we do very often, do we?
But they're fun when they happen.
Absolutely, they're brilliant, but it's just not something we think to do very often.
Yeah.
Like we'll think very much when you play your opening word from E8.
Yeah.
Then you'll, just like the other day when there was a phony, but cloth was extended to bedcloth. Or it should have been oilcloth was another possibility. Those kind of extensions we think of all the time. But just in general, we don't really think of extending.
Mushroom, mushroom.
Oh, isn't that pretty, Scrabble Kitty? Oh my God, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, Z-Brass is a classic. I love all the S words that end in S that take another S.
So take an S, or just, like flaming takes an O.
The old flaming
We love
O.
that kind of stuff.
The flaming
right?
O, yeah.
Plink takes a U in front.
Stamped and stampede.
Stampede, yeah. There's a few new ones, too, that have come out as a result of the new dictionary.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Very, very pretty. So Will is taking an awful lot of time on this, which... Oh, he's looking at Ulpan. That's it. It's a possibility, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not really a great way to hit the L and hit the double word and get rid of an N. It's a little tricky.
Yeah. I mean, it does accomplish all those things and opens the board nicely.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit the double word.
Yeah.
It's 22 points. It's very decent, saving E and G, which is very decent. Everything's decent. Question is, was there something brilliant? So Carl is not doing that great, so both guys kind of struggling with opening racks. Looks like Will has something really good though. Negate? Oh no, he's an
No,
O.
his tiles
Elongate to
still
a
suck.
T.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. Gasoline.
Ooh, but it looks like Carl's thinking about playing Facet, and if
Which will
he's-
give him his
which would
elongate.
give him, it
Oh
would let
my
him
goodness.
elongate that part of the board.
Speaking of sausages.
Yeah.
But it will save what? GS. What's his other letter? U? What is it?
Yeah, GSU.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Uh,
So I don't think you're going to see Facet that quickly.
Scott, I'm pretty sure he played that because it ensures a much more open board, and Will would just prefer an open board than what he gets into after Pung, which is a grossly closed board that pretty much requires you have an S, which he does not have. So he's basically just trying to avoid that situation because I know he hates situations like that. So whereas I might have played Pung because I like situations like that, I know for a fact he hates it. So
Quackle had suggested not doing many iterations. Had Gulp, as I had suggested, but you would save 2 N's. It also leaves a very dangerous Y hook, because Gulpy is good.
yeah.
Or Pull and saving AEGNN. I think those were all nice considerations.
But very, very high variance.
And Will likes an open board, and that would close down the board even more.
So, Carl currently has tempo and that all-important S hook. So
And he's playing Facet.
Yeah.
And Will is thanking his lucky stars.
Yeah, Will just watch for a sec. He's going to give a little look over at the camera.
Remember, Will far more needs to win this game than Carl does.
Yeah.
Now, the only advantage is that it's obviously a very low-scoring bingo.
Yeah. Watch. Will's going to take a little glance over.
At what?
It was right there. He just looked over at the camera like, I just got my bingo.
Did he do that? Oh my God. I want a replay.
Wow, Carl is a hell of a rack.
Oh my God. Well, so that you. Well, you can do stuff with it. At least you could score with it, possibly. Where, though, is the question. In our dictionary, not having the ZO and the ZE are like,
Yeah.
it's tough. It almost says WYSIWYG. Let's see what Will has. He's got a W, it looks like. Wanton.
Yes,
Do another T.
Every time. It just needs an open T every time.
Yeah,
Not going to get it this time.
no. And it seems like Carl will probably play off elongate the E. Like, does he have WE something? Ooh, it's hard to see them.
No, he's YEW, but
YEW. Oh, he's got, okay, there you go. U? He's got U? Yeah, he's got U. YEW, right.
and there's also the option of SEZ, which is a little crazy. But
Which word?
SEZ says.
And keys?
And keys.
I don't
yeah.
think that's crazy at all.
Well, it keeps WUGY. Is Wagyu good in OWL now?
Yes.
Okay. So it gets some potential outs out of it. But he's pretty much relying on a.
Oh, it's not good.
No, it's not.
I apologize. I do study CSW too, so. But just 9s through 14s. I don't know the 5s.
Yeah.
Now, it was suggested by Quackle that J5 Fugs hooking key was the play saving CET, and I think there's something to be said for that as well.
And there's also the potential for fuse. But this scores well, controls a bit of the board, and gives Carl some decent draws for good plays next turn. Zag, Futz, Says, Zaz. So I think, honestly, I think that's got to be the best play, and I suspect that if it was simmed, it would come out on top.
Now, if he wants to go on top of you, we'll turn the board around. I'm sure we will. We've got Wad, but he's already shown a lack of desire to keep 2 N's. Although I'd rather keep 2 N's than WN, would you? I'm not a huge fan of W.
Probably would depend on the board.
Yeah. Well, this board is not, you need an S on this board. or else you're going to open up something. You're going to go play parallel to key, and you're going to open up the board that way.
Yeah.
He could play off Fond if he
Or
wants, off
something,
the
yeah.
F,
Yeah.
saving ON. I think, personally, start playing some tiles, and there's S's and blanks out there. It's time.
Yeah, it's starting to seem like that here.
It's 28 points. It gets rid of 6 tiles. Lots of good stuff
Or
in the bag.
there's the slightly crazy play of unwon. I mean, I don't actually think it's that crazy, but I don't think Will would play it, but it just kills the board. And we'll turn this into a very interesting game. It blocks
Oh
all
my
the
God.
lanes. I would play that so bad.
You have to stick TED on it just to open the board.
Yeah. And I should add, unwant is not a word in TWL, just Collins. I learned that in Thailand a couple weeks ago.
NASPA is a valid word in Polish. Did you see that?
Amazing.
That is so great. Thank you for coming by today. You've got such great information for us.
Oh, he's playing unwon. I know, Will, I can guarantee you right now is thinking about me. Because that is about the most Conrad play in the history of Scrabble. And Will usually doesn't like making plays like that. So I know he's just thinking, like, Conrad would be so proud of me right now. And he's not wrong. Actually, he's entirely right. I'm very proud of Will for making that play. And I look forward to talking about it with him later. And it looks like Carl managed to not hit the A or the T or the E. Well, the E wouldn't have mattered in the end, but not much except probably Fugio or something. No, unwant is only Collins. I learned that when Michael Tang played it against me a couple weeks ago.
Which word?
Just the T hook on unwon.
And won't, yeah.
Yeah, unwant is a...
So
Verb.
Quackle liked Fond as well, and unwon came in third. It scored surprisingly well, and forces your opponent, if he wants to play there, to not score a lot of points necessarily. I guess you can bingo underneath it.
I mean, this is
But it
basically...
makes you open the triple row.
Yeah, when you make a play like this, you're basically not necessarily telling your opponent because they don't necessarily know what your other plays were, but you think you're going to outplay your opponent because this is going to be a much harder game to play, at least for the next couple of turns, because there aren't as many options.
One of our astute watchers said that they laughed about that play. Unless they're talking about us. Will smiled. Let's see what that is. So Fugio seems
Remember that time
reasonable.
Will needed a T for a bingo?
Yeah.
Every turn.
Suddenly says isn't so stupid no more, eh? Although that doesn't open the
Yeah.
board either.
No, I mean, Carl actually had a pretty not so great draw.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Fugio's going to be...
I like Fugio, even though it's a little
Yeah.
dangerous playing all those vowels.
Yeah, I mean, SSZ has a lot of scoring power.
Remember, we're only 10 points apart, so it's
Yeah.
not like somebody's desperate.
Yeah.
Oh, needs an S. Palisade, etc.
Yeah, it's a good thing for Carl that he didn't decide to tack on the S there.
Guess what he needs? A T.
Yeah.
And an R for predial. So, this is an interesting situation that does happen when you are the type to close down the board. Now, there's nothing to be played up on top. Really, the best place to play is on top of you and under the O in Fugio. The trouble with playing over you is that it's, to some extent, forcing you to play 2 of your 3 consonants, leaving a lot of vowels on your rack. So pad and stuff like that. I guess you could play, no, nothing. You can't play 2 vowels. So if he wants to go under Fugio and play something like paid, which would score the most, he's going to open a triple row. So that's how it comes back to bite you to some extent when you play that way. Right, Mr. Conrad?
Yeah, but I think ape for 24 on the bottom left is just fine.
Yeah, you could do that. And look what Carl picked up. He picked up lots of vowels. That was perfect for him.
Yes, assay is a column.
What does Siza mean that it takes an S? Siza is a new word. S-E-I-Z-A.
Oh, it's been a column for a while. Cisa del Solar. I mean, I know it's
A
Japanese,
Japanese
for sure.
kneeling position in Japanese martial arts. Ah.
Seiza.
I thought it meant totally something else.
No. Which is why it takes an S. Who knows?
That's why it takes an S, yeah.
Oh no!
It's not like
well, no,
unga.
well, no,
It doesn't take an
it's,
S.
it's Japanese, so why would it take an S? There's no S plural in Japanese.
And yet it takes an S, as
Yeah.
far as I know. And here
Yeah.
comes the paid as thought out. Now he can play a sized, or just sized. You don't need to stay in it.
Yeah.
Or seized. How are we doing on E's? There's still a ton left. I'd probably play seized and save AS.
How many E's are left?
A lot.
Yeah.
6 or 7. Although we'll just pick one of them. Or he kept one of them. And there,
Ooh.
oh. Are there bingos in there? Corrals.
Cradle-
Yeah.
cradles.
All the, oh, it's a D. I thought it was an O.
Cradles.
Yeah.
And one of them's not. One of them's called. Scalder's called.
And where is he going to put that now?
Well, if Carl, it depends if Carl plays seized or sized.
He will be able to play it.
Well, only one of. Wait, no, he'll get to play reclats either way. Yeah, so either way. Clatter. Yeah, so Clatter's. Wait, is that Collins? Is Clatter's Collins?
All the bingos.
Okay.
He has decryals through the eye as well,
Clatter
which
is-
scores the most.
Clatter's is a Colin.
Yeah, he's got decryals through the eye, hitting the C on the triple letter.
Yeah. So if he plays size, then Cradles will go down, and if he plays.
Us.
If
He won't play the other one.
If he plays seized,
Oh, I see
he'll
what you're
play.
saying. Yeah,
He'll get
yeah.
reclats.
So he's bingoing no matter what.
Looks like it, unless there's something we're missing. I guess he played Days down. Days would stop everything.
He might do that, you know.
Yeah, he might.
It does
Yeah.
close the board down. It makes more sense. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So all of you out there who are wondering sometimes why you lose games, it's this kind of thinking that sets apart.
Will's probably just losing his mind right now, but he brought it on himself. See, for me, I don't really mind this. If there's a bunch of orphans, no goes every turn, like that's fine because it probably means my opponent has them too.
Do we have time to do a bit of a on the size, the days versus size versus seized play? That we're going to do a bit of a iteration run on for you, a simulation to see what comes up.
Can you turn it to 2-ply because many ply is useless here.
Could you explain why for those of us who use Quackle? Why is-
Yeah, so so basically the shortcoming of Quackle is that when each time it runs a simulation, it's calculating out the next n moves for the opponent. Be it right now it's 2-ply, so it's the next 2 turns, one for yourself or one for your opponent, one for yourself. The problem is that the simulation it's running assumes that your opponent uses this like statically generated list of plays, not a simulated next play. A lot of times opponents don't play that way. That's why we're running a simulation in the first place, right? So if you do that over 5 turns, you've now just introduced the variance of 9 unsimulated plays into your simulation, which isn't very useful.
Very interesting. So right now we are running a sim because we're going to move ahead after this, and neck and neck are seized and sized with a 62% almost win percentage versus days at a 57.82. But it's days as we're running seems to be catching up a tiny, teeny bit. But right now seized and sized is what Quackle is liking.
Yeah, although it'd be interesting to see what the details are and why it's liking
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Oh, and look what happened to Will. Picked up 2 R's. Okay. He missed a 9-letter bingo. And you won't believe what it ends in.
Lead screw?
Lead screw.
Woof. Ooh.
Oh my God. Why? Oh, don't tell him.
I'm not going to say anything to him. I mean,
Especially if he loses.
He'll find out eventually, but
Oh man, lead screw. Oh, and it's so unlike him. He would have. You know what? It's so weird. Who even thinks? Oh, I'm not going to even bother with EW to put it in.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, he doesn't. He just probably hasn't studied the nines that much.
Oh, I don't even know if he would have looked. Would you have looked? Oh, can I end in an EW?
I don't know the word lead screw.
Oh, okay. I've seen it
I
a
don't.
lot.
I don't study the nines.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
I don't know if I would have found it, to be super honest with you. Would that have been beautiful, though, eh?
Yeah.
101 points.
I mean,
101
that would make it a. That would truly make you like a national champion. That's what like a true.
Yeah, you would say that man deserved to win.
Yeah.
Will does not do. Yes, does he do the nines? No, because I do the nines every day, and I don't see his name up there.
No, he's been learning the Collins sevens and eights.
There you go. Moosies. What are we going to do with moosies? Not much. This board is really bad, not surprisingly, we know that, in terms of scoring. So,
I am still very much enjoying this because
absolutely, 173, 173, and nothing to play.
They're playing Connor at Scrabble. It's amazing.
You're so happy.
And
You're a happy boy.
It was just the last thing I would have expected.
Snog was considered the correct play, as was Rez. And now we've got some mofo happening.
I thought he had moosies.
We missed. We've been busy with other stuff.
Oh.
He played Snog, and
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
and then Rez was put down, and now we're up to mofo. And Will is about to start opening the board. Here we go. It has begun, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to have a more open board.
Think he's going to do it this turn, or you think he's going to wait one more turn?
Maybe he gave up lead screw so it wouldn't open up the board.
Exactly.
I think so.
David Gibson?
I think that is exactly why he did it.
Yeah. He is going to play throw now? Okay.
Look at this, 197 after 163. We have a tie game. What do you
Yeah.
think he's going to play? Oh,
Looks
look
like
at
he
that.
played throw. I actually might have considered waiting one turn to play herd and then opening it next turn. But
He's
So-
got Bistard and Bistrid. And Bob's your uncle.
it's going to be interesting because, I mean, you know, they're basically tied right now.
Deorbits off that O in mofo.
Well, it's interesting. What is Carl going to do? You know, he can play very defensively, shutting off the play on the right.
He could
Keep-
play Vis or Vas.
Yeah, or via keeping, you know, you keep all these good
Yep.
good leaves. But he's not, I mean, he's losing, or he's winning by 3. So he's not winning by that much. So it's, you know, it's risky. And again, this is why it's so hard to play these closed boards. Because you have to know when is it right to just say screw it and play revisal, and when is it right to, you know, keep
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on the right side.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so hard for so many people to
Yeah.
do this, and why it takes, I'd say it took me a decade to learn how to do.
What would you do? What's your choice right now?
Spend like 5 minutes thinking about it.
I would play Vis. It puts you up ahead and forces the person to play off the L or something for like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he now has a second S makes that a lot more powerful.
Yeah.
Because the biggest issue here a lot of the time is Will drops down something above UN or EW and sets up a hook you can do nothing about, and since
Yeah.
you're only winning by 20,
Mhm.
GG. But he has the hooks that he's worried about. So
Often in a game like this, this would be the final score. So we're
Yeah.
we're kind of lucky that they've gotten
Yeah.
a few good playing.
you know what I just realized is Carl probably would have found lead screw, because he studied all the nines a number of times. So I bet you Carl finds lead screw.
Yeah, that would drive me crazy. Oh my god. I remember playing remember Ira?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ira in New York. And I remember playing in one of his tournaments, and I'm sitting next to, God, I'm going to try to remember what it was. But maybe it was Jason Katz Brown, and I apparently had highfalutin as a 9.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It became legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I would find today, but back then, no way. No way. All right.
Yeah. This looks like Carl's going to go ahead and play Via, leaving Will with, yet again, nowhere to bingo. But again, they're basically even, so it's not really like Will's at a disadvantage right now. It just kind of has felt like that because
he's had bingos almost every turn. But he has some perfectly fine plays here, be it Brio or Bid. I think right now it's a question of how vowel heavy. You just want to make sure he keeps having.
Oh my God! Look at the racks.
Oh wow,
they have all the same
they
score, and they almost have the same racks.
This is a little crazy.
Little double mint gum kind of game going
Yeah.
on here.
Oh, I mean, I love this. They're
You're a happy boy.
They're hanging in there.
There is nothing, maybe brew or like, God, what are you going to play? Yeah, that's where, so Quackle had suggested instead of throw that he had played herd in the same spot. Standard. So whoever gets that O to play to the left of bit is going to be able to do something.
Yeah, but do they want to use it? Because then they're inevitably opening the board for their opponent.
If he wants to score at all, he's going to play dental. I don't know that there's anything else he could do. And then there's soirees comes down.
No, wait, yes, I can't. ES is how it's spelled, not SE. This is where you just need to take your time. Oh.
And here comes soiree as, oh my goodness, I feel like the horse whisperer today. All right, so that's what's going to happen, folks. As predicted, dental and then soirees. There was also something to be said for playing bid and elongated. Not that it matters because he picked up the bingo.
Oh,
What's the matter?
Well, I'll see them see Will's next rack, but looks like it's going to work out okay for him. 'Cause he
Look what he picked
drew-
up
he
with the
drew
joint.
jointers for 100.
Joint, oh my God.
Scrabble's a strange thing.
It is such a strange game. Okay. Yeah, I don't think he'll miss that.
No.
It had been suggested from Quackle, without doing
Crackle.
iterations, Crackle, that instead of playing dental, that Will play do, D-E-W, I don't know what, so to have save the Santed rack, A-D-E and S-T rack, but it would do nothing for anyone.
No, and again, this is what shows the shortcoming of Quackle. Is Quackle's assuming that Carl in a vacuum is going to play something down to the L, when some of the time he's really not going to. That's why you have to be careful of these simulations and really understand what they're really saying.
Yep.
Oh my goodness!
98 points.
Look at Carl's rack.
A blank as well. Oh my
And an
God.
X.
All right, we got us a game. And all it took was a little dental work.
Yeah.
So the board will not be shut any longer for this game. Het-like. When you speak to a guy with a Yiddish accent like that, it was het-like. Or eth-like. Joinders was the play, not surprising. He gave up the possibility of playing gins and saving the blank.
Scott, this is in no way more fun. It requires absolutely no thought. There's no skill involved once you've studied somewhere. It's to just see, oh, I have soirees. Oh, I have jointers. Like, those other things are the things that require so much thought. And if you look at their clocks, they're already down to under 7 or under 8 and under 9 minutes.
So we have a new scorer. We have Will Anderson at 364 and Carl Johnson at 322.
What?
364 to 322 is the score. According to the NASPA webpage, that's what it is. So there might be a mistake somewhere. So you guys are going to figure out, okay, which one, someone has a mistake. We're not sure her. I would think that Will is ahead. Yeah, this looks about right. This looks like what it should be. There's no way that Will is behind at 298. He just played jointers. There's a mistake in the Quackle. There's no question. Will did not play soirees.
Yeah, you skipped Brio.
And Carl Johnson did not play dental.
Okay, so after Via, Carl played Brio.
All right. Don't worry, guys, it's not affecting you at all. The correct score is up there.
Scott, scoring more points is not necessarily true because I'm pretty sure my tournament average and Will's tournament average is about the same. So,
All right.
score with that.
I'll keep an eye on other scores possibly coming in, folks. It's way too early, of course. Oh, it is not. This is game 28? It
Yeah.
is. Alex Seaholm has defeated handily Matt Kanek, 561 to 356. So we picked the right game because
Yeah.
that would have been a blowout, boring game. All right.
Yeah, which knocks Kenji out and not getting a chance to have a say in his shot at the finals, which
That's
is
very unfortunate.
too bad. But it's.
I'm sure he'll notice.
Oh yeah, we already talked about it.
All right.
Matt actually noticed it first. They almost talked to John about the pairings, but
All right.
opted not to.
So Matt Kanek had a good run, but how did he do the game before this one? Did he win or lose? I can't remember.
Matt, yeah, he beat Bill.
So many games I don't remember. No, he's lost. He's lost to
Carl.
Duran. He lost to Carl. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt, when he needed to win the most, unfortunately lost 2 games. In CSW, let's see if anything's happening there.
They've been talking about it in the stream. Sounds like Tony's kind of choked this game a bit.
Is that right?
Don't know what the score is, but it sounds like Jesse.
Why choke? Why using that word?
Supposedly Jesse got away with tilty, and Tony missed airship. That sounds pretty choky.
That's very choky. Matthew O'Connor, though, who had not been doing that well, is now in 3rd place
Yeah.
and will stay in 3rd place. Yeah, he will stay in 3rd place. So my God, CSW is having quite the barn burner. 3 of them right now are at 19 and 9. Jesse's score is not in. He has the potential. Oh, it sounds like he's going to win if he's playing Tony. So it looks like Jesse will probably be at 20 to Austin's 19.9 plus 930, and then Matthew's 19.9 plus 593.
It's also amazing. Dave Wiegand is making the comeback we thought, but it looks like it's too little, too late. He's won his last 2 games.
Let me see.
2-0 plus 600 something points.
So let's see how he's done in today. I bet I'm going to see a bunch of, no, not that many reds, not that many greens. He had a bye, so he won.
Oh yeah, no, this morning was rough.
Yeah, the morning was rough.
Lost 2 of his first.
Lost 2 of the first. He went 2 and 2, then he had a bye, now he's won the last 2.
So it sounds like, yeah, Tony's actually barely winning. So it sounds like, yeah, Tony and Jesse is very close.
All right.
It's just interesting. I mean, Carl's, and again, we have 2 players who don't usually play on closed boards. Still not super open, but.
Oh, Tony's up.
Yeah.
Tony's up 3-2. Oh, okay. But it would have been a lot better. You can watch, Zev, you can watch it online. You can watch all of the games online. We are always running both the NWL and the CSW games at the same time. So what are we liking for this? Somebody had suggested Axis. Opens the board and gets rid of the X.
I would think Quackle should be able to solve this if we ask championship player, because there's 1 in the bag.
Oh my goodness. There's only 1 in the bag. That's why he's looking to dump the X.
So I think one thing he's considering is, if I play
EX.
Rioja, can I
Okay.
win? And so I guess Champ
That's tough.
Champ seems to think if
He's
you
got a
play-
blank, eh?
Yeah, Champ seems to think if you play Dex for 11, so maybe Quackle can't solve this endgame. Doesn't seem right. That Dex would win.
Why for 11? Why is he playing that?
Because he's gone through all of the remaining tiles and has determined that that's his most likely chance of bingo.
This I understand, but so he needs. Is he creating some sort of why wouldn't he play EX off the Soirees X?
I'm assuming that drawing the V gives him some extra bingo,
Okay.
making Vex.
And he did.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's true.
And he's giving up 9 points or so.
So, did he draw bingos in
He
2
picked the
spots or
V.
just 1 spot?
Can he end in an O? That's another thing. Oh my God, the V is the last letter he wanted. This is exciting.
Yeah,
Aviform.
in Collins,
He's got is that a word?
no, it's Collins.
Yeah.
He has Omnivora, but
He does not have a 7. Wow. That was like the worst letter he could pick up.
Yeah, so, I mean, Carl, Will
Like-
can just play Chic right across for like 40-something and game over.
By playing the X also, he's blocking the R bingo lane as well, off the soirees.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what he was. I'm sure a tremendous amount of thought went into it that I'm not picking up on.
My guess
The
is...
Vex hook, I understand what
yeah,
you're saying.
yeah, and I bet it's that it makes it harder
But
for...
then you have to do 2 vowels after it. Like how often? V-O-I, V-O-A? What are you going to play? Via more? Like, what is... Something was in his head.
Yeah,
I just don't know what.
but yeah, I mean, as long as Will blocks Omnivora, he should be fine. And his best play, his obvious best play does that, so...
Yeah, I
That's
think.
a heck of a game. Wow.
I think
I'm-
we need Josh to interview Carl, and
Yeah.
we'll
And
get his
it is-
thinking on that.
It is actually funny through all of this, given that Alec won his game. This is actually completely meaningless for Will, I think. Although I guess Alec got some spread, so I guess it doesn't hurt. Spread,
Did you want to
spread
do
is no
a?
longer-
Did you do a for the X play? What did we find? What did championship player say? I missed it.
Oh, it said Dex for 11. Hmm? Yeah, I don't. I think it doesn't. I don't think it can do the end game correctly. I mean, I'd be surprised if that shows up again.
Is it possible that the only tile in the bag that might not have won is the V?
No,
No, I'm sure there's more.
probably the K. Oh wow, it's okay. It finds us. No, it's finding different things again too. Yeah.
The K would have been super bad as well.
So it seems to think DX is the one, but I'm not entirely sure why. You all can go through afterwards yourself.
Time-wise, I think they both have.
I did once chicken
No,
out of
6
playing.
and 2.
I did once chicken out of playing Shake because I didn't know how to spell it.
It's I before E, except after C, but no, not
Yeah.
always.
Although ironically, now that I know that it's probably pronounced more like Shake, I would know that it's EI.
Yeah.
Before I was like, oh, it's pronounced Chic. It was a Mario character, but. Yeah, we understand that playing off the X and bingoing out give them the best chance to win.
Absolutely.
But
it was a matter of where to stick
question
the
of
X.
where to put the X, and Quackle seems very convinced that it's a huge mistake. I'm not sure that that's true because Quackle's finding.
I still don't see what's
slightly-
wrong with EX off the E in soirees. I still, but
Well, Dex somehow wins a lot of the endgame. Wins five. Hmm?
what's that? It leaves the R open,
Oh,
and
it's
it's
'cause it leaves
easy.
the R open, yeah.
That's my point. But
No, Dex for 11 completely leaves the R open.
that I understand.
Yeah.
Versus unless
Yeah.
you need to bingo RI, for example. I
Yeah.
get that.
But it's interesting that it in fact bingos. It wins 5 out of 8 endgames. I mean, we've champed it 4 times I think now. And
Mind you, sticking the X there would block Omnivora, so it blocks bingos through that end. So I don't even know if that X should be anywhere near there.
well, those are the only places on the board you can play it. So,
Yeah, I'm just.
so yeah, he's got 3 options.
Well, yeah, that's
You can
unfortunate.
you can
Yeah,
block one or the other.
I got it. Well, do you need to get rid of the X? Is the other question.
I mean, Quackle seems pretty convinced that that's true.
But you've been denigrating Quackle all day. So.
But we've done it 4 times and it's come up with the same thing. I mean, this is something you can do like by hand. You could go through and look at all 8 endgames.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, of course you can do that. Of course.
And in this case, Quackle should usually be able to solve a 1 in the bag endgame because it doesn't take as much computing power. But
You certainly don't want to have the VX. That's for sure. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
We're thinking we want you to talk to Carl after this game.
no, Will.
To Will after this game. Oh, he's playing sleek.
What are you asking?
We would like to talk to Will.
So you want me to bring in Will?
Yeah,
Did Will win?
he's going to in a sec.
Okay, good.
What was it about that we wanted to ask Will? About.
I want to ask him if he was thinking about me when he played on 1.
Oh, that's what you want. I see. I want to just talk to Carl to ask him to.
Carl might. I don't know if he wants to talk immediately after
Yeah.
losing last game.
Well,
of the
you know
day.
what? His attitude when I spoke to him yesterday is like, "What will be, and if I lose all 7 games tomorrow, I'll still be satisfied." So, I don't think he's. I mean, that could be different in the moment, but he seemed to be quite happy.
Yeah.
Look, and how could he be upset? He's still 22-5.
Yeah.
He's not going to be that upset.
Why is this? I won't be surprised if he tries out the form if he studied it before. But
Oh, the lead screw. No, we don't want to ask him about lead screw. He'll find that on his own.
oh well, we'll see if he asks, "Hey, did I miss anything?" And my answer will be, "Do you really want to know?" Because that's always
Yeah,
what I tell
that's
him.
what I always say too. Yeah.
Of course, I only tell him, "Do you really want to know if he did miss something?" So
Sleek wins 100% of the time.
yeah.
So we definitely have a winner in Will. And let me tell you guys what else is going on with the other games, so we can try to figure out what to do here.
It's actually going to be pretty straightforward. Will has to beat Alec 2 times.
Yeah.
Because
Thomas Reinke is now in 4th place. Like,
Will.
where did that come from? My
Yeah.
goodness.
And look at how many games ahead he is. I mean, that Will is in 3rd place. It's gonna
Yeah.
suck for either Will or Alec to be.
So Alec did what he needed to do. He won.
Yeah.
And so Carl's going to be at 22 and 5, plus 16, 56. Alec will be at 21 and 7, just one game off at 12:57. Will,
Oh goodness, they're gonna have to pair Carl with. Oh no, I don't envy John Chu right now.
with who?
Well, Carl technically hasn't clinched a spot.
There are 2 more games?
Yeah.
2 more games to go. He's going to be 2 games ahead of Alec. How is he not?
He's 1 game ahead of Alec. How is he 2 games?
Yeah. No, because he's about to win.
No,
Oh.
he's about to lose.
Carl's about to lose. You're right.
So actually,
I'm getting tired.
Carl has not clinched a spot.
Oh my God.
So now, yeah, who do you pair with someone who's out of contention? Who do you pair with Thomas?
It's really bad. It's really hard enough to go into the final game being the front runner. And if you're about to have a finals best of,
Yeah.
it's hard enough. But can you imagine having the best of, and the fact that you haven't clinched it yet? He would have slopped a lot better, I
Yeah.
think, if he had clinched it, obviously.
And again, I mean, he's still in great shape. He's going to lose, 120 spread points. He's still going to have 3 to 400 spread points on Will. So he's still in very
He's still
good
in very
shape.
good shape.
But
So
there's
he's
no
he's
guarantee.
2 games ahead of Will, so he can be caught. But it's very, you have 2 cruddy games where somebody beats you by 250 points. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be, so my God, everybody, you got to tune in tomorrow morning because this is going to be fascinating. Is somebody getting short on time? Yeah, he's down to something seconds.
Well, it sounds like the other game is much more interesting if Tony phonied again and Jesse blew the end game.
Oh, is that what you're hearing?
That's what they're saying, yeah.
All right, guys. I actually got to go. So the timing's perfect.
I guess I'll chat with Will for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I have a,
Well, you'll enjoy it. It's a good place.
yeah, we're all meeting. Wow, Tony's going to win. How great is that?
Well, I mean,
No, for Tony.
Oh, because I'm sure
Not
for
for his
Jesse,
opponent.
but Jesse's, of course, one of the people I've played with for most of my life. I would love to see him win,
Oh, I would love to see Jesse win as
win
well.
any sort of nationals. I mean, for those of you who've been following for a long time, Jesse's come so close on multiple occasions, only to be denied at the last second. Got 2nd place at the World Championships last year.
Hubert, when Jesse missed the end game win, was there a time pressure? Because Jesse does have some time